Well, good morning, everyone. I am so excited to be here this morning for our 60-minute slow flow practice today. Today's practice is going to be centered around taking it down a notch, and we're going to be really connecting with a really nice counting breath, if you will, or rhythmic breathing today, where we're going to be connecting with our breath and our movements in a really nice and slow, steady pattern. I want you to think today about embracing this idea of letting go, about just releasing any tension that you might be feeling or anything else that might not be serving you today. So as we move through our practice today, I want you just to consider that perhaps as a mantra or perhaps as just that thought in the back of your mind as you move, just allow your body to be soft and supple and really just rhythmic with the breathing. But today we're going to start with a really nice meditation, a grounding meditation, just to allow us to connect into the present moment and to invite this sense of awareness of where we are right now in space. So I invite you to go ahead and sit down or lie down or find a comfortable position, whether it's in a chair or on a couch, whatever feels right for your body today. If you'd like to, I encourage you to prop yourself up on a pillow or a blanket and really allow your sits bones to raise themselves off the earth. It'll feel a lot more comfortable. So as you're ready, let's go ahead and close our eyes and let's begin to just sit up tall, maybe noticing if your spine is rounded in any places, maybe down towards your low back. Maybe just try to feel a little bit of that lift from the crown of the head and allow the shoulders to just softly drip away from the ears. Maybe you even have to shift your weight front to back to really kind of find that center point connection, just that middle ground, that neutral space. You could do the same with shifting your weight side to side. Again, just finding that grounding sensation between both of the sits bones equally grounding down towards the earth. As you softly gaze with your eyes, perhaps closed or open, if you prefer to keep your eyes open, that's absolutely fine. I'd like us to begin by just taking a few breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Try to draw the breath deep into the belly and then empty the belly fully as you exhale. And as you continue to breathe, I invite you to begin to notice your hands. Maybe noticing the hands and its touching of the surface of your knee or your thigh, or maybe resting down. Just notice that sensation on the palm of the hand. Maybe you can notice different qualities of where your hand connects to your body, in a sense of where is your hand touching perhaps your knee. Maybe there's different areas of the palm. Maybe you notice different fingers having more connection than other fingers. Maybe you notice a little gap where the palm rests but slightly lifts away from your body. Perhaps you notice the different temperature between the palm resting on your thighs or on the ground, wherever they are, and the top of your hand. Perhaps you notice different areas feeling a little cooler and different areas feeling a little warmer. And let us take a moment here just to draw awareness to all the sensations you may be feeling, both internally and externally in the hands. Perhaps there's a pulsing sensation, perhaps a tingling. Perhaps it's simply a sensation of neutrality. Now let us draw our awareness to our feet. Perhaps if you're sitting in a Sukhasana position, easy seated pose. Perhaps your feet are resting underneath your shins. Perhaps if you are in lotus pose, you notice the sole of the feet open up, resting on top of your thigh. For a moment here, let us draw awareness to where our feet connect or touch to other parts of the body or to the earth. Maybe there are some places that connect more and some places that connect less. Noticing if there's pressure in some parts of the foot more than others. Maybe the weight of one leg resting a little heavier into the foot than the other. Perhaps noticing the top of the foot and the sole of the foot, and notice even the temperature difference between one side and the other. Perhaps you notice your big toe and your second to big toe. And then as you move through each of the toes, you may even notice different temperatures that emanate from each of those toes. Maybe they are all the same temperature and you notice them equally. Perhaps you notice the heel and the ankle of your foot. If you're in Sukhasana, perhaps one side is resting a little heavier into the floor than the other. Take a moment to simply notice this pressure, notice the sensation, maybe even the texture of the earth beneath you. As you remain seated tall, take a moment to notice your shoulders. Maybe notice the temperature of the room kissing upon your arms. Maybe noticing where your shoulders are in space. Are you holding on to anything? Maybe you can see if they can soften a little. Perhaps noticing the front and back of your chest, opening up the heart space. Maybe you even notice if there's one side you're gently tipping over to a little more than the other. Maybe you notice a little more pressure in one sits bones than the other. Taking a moment to notice the sits bones connecting down to whether you're on a pillow or on the ground on your mat. Noticing perhaps just the texture of the floor. Maybe it's soft, maybe it's hard. And for the next few breaths, let us simply draw awareness to all the different connections within the body that connect down towards the earth or touch upon some material thing around you, like your bolster, like your mat. And ground your body into this space, connecting to the earth. Maybe feeling this field of energy pulling you down and offering this sense of foundation. Notice your breath coming into the body and leaving the body. And then as you're ready, let us bring our hands to heart center, noticing the connection of the palms connecting towards one another. In our Anjali Mudra as a symbol of us all being one. Let us set our sankalpa, our intention for our practice today. And then as you're ready, slowly rest your hands down towards your thighs. If you're lying down, perhaps come to a seated position. And then slowly begin to blink your eyes open, inviting the room into your view with a soft gaze forward. Sitting up tall, let us both go ahead and extend the arms out. And then on a count of 4 for the inhale and a count of 4 for the exhale, we'll begin to inhale and reach the arms up to about shoulder height for a count of 4. And then exhale for a count of 4. Slowly bringing the breath in as we reach and extend the body, the arms up. And exhale as we slowly bring the arms down. Finding one steady pace of inhale and one steady pace of exhale. Seeing if we can regulate the breathing nice and smoothly into the body and out of the body. Just noticing different areas, properties of the space around us, noticing the temperature of the room as you raise your arms, noticing the temperature of the hands. And let's do this 2 more times, breathing in and breathing out. And breathing in and breathing out. And then as you're ready, let's go ahead and bring ourselves into our all fours position. If we're taking care of our knees today, perhaps we have a blanket underneath our kneecaps to soften the floor beneath us. And let us bring ourselves into all fours, beginning with some gentle cat-cows. As we move into our cat-cows today, we are going to take our cat-cows with a breath of 4 on the inhale and an exhale on a count of 4. Pressing gently into the floor, noticing the properties of the mat beneath you, maybe starfishing the hands, lengthening through the spine. And as you breathe in, maybe repeat to yourself the count of 4. And then exhale on a count of 4, gently driving the belly button in towards the spine. Moving with this sense of awareness and the sense of articulation through the spine. Today we are moving our body slowly, consciously, and with the assistance of this nice rhythmic breath, allowing it to really assist us in staying present. Breathing deeply to the belly as you breathe in and as you breathe out. And let's do 2 more sets of cat-cow. And then as you're ready, bringing yourself right back into our all fours position with a nice long back. Go ahead and bring your right hand and turn the palm so that your fingers are resting towards your knee. Just giving that forearm a little stretch. And then readjusting the hand back into its original space, and then turning the left hand, fingertips towards the center. And then coming back in through that original spot. Go ahead and extend the right leg long, guiding the toes down on towards the earth and maintaining a long back here. Simply inhale and lift the right leg, lengthening through the spine. And then lower on a count of 4. So inhale and lift on a count of 4. Exhale and lower for a count of 4. Inhale and exhale. As you move, maybe noticing that crease between the glute and that femur, and noticing that pull and that lift from right below the glute and where the femur connects. So just drawing your awareness to that space. Pulling in through the abdominal so that we're active through the core to help stabilize the pelvis. Good, and let's do 2 more. And then go ahead and rest that right knee down, press back onto your heels. Extend the arms out if that feels comfortable, perhaps even tenting the hands, pressing the fingertips onto the floor, lengthening the back and the shoulders. Breathing in for a count of 4, expanding the back of the body, and breathing out. Wonderful. And let's go ahead and shift our weight forward, coming back into our all fours, extending the left leg long, And the same thing, keeping our abdominals long, shoulders are plugged in. Inhale and lift for a count of 4. Exhale and lower for a count of 4. And with that same drawing of awareness that we just did in our meditation, just notice the different physical qualities that we may be feeling within the foot, the ankle, the leg. Maybe noticing the engagement of the muscles, gently helping us to strengthen, to move. And let's do 2 more. And last one. And then bring your left knee back in, press your hips down on towards your heels, extend the arms out, maybe pressing the palms, the tips of the fingers into the floor as you lift the palms. Breathing in for a count of 4 and breathing out. Wonderful. And let's make our way back into our all fours. And we're just going to do a little lateral movement here. So you have the choice to do this with your feet flat on the floor, or you can raise your feet, if this feels comfortable, up into a lifted position. And as we shift our weight over, kind of gazing beyond our shoulder, the toes might reach behind, forward, kind of meeting us on the side. Or if your feet are down, we're just taking a look over the shoulder and then back in through center. And we'll just flow here from one side to the other, maybe still inviting that 4 count breath. Noticing the lengthening of the spine. And we're moving with the sense of awareness and not force. In yoga, often we come to our yoga practice sometimes with this idea of we have to push beyond our edge. And I'm here to tell you, you don't ever have to push beyond your edge. And last one on either side. And then come back through center. This time we're going to open up into a wide child's pose. If that feels comfortable, you can bring your big toes together, knowing that whenever you go into child's pose, you can always rest a block right underneath your heels and just rest your sits bones there. From here, we may go into an extended child's pose if that feels good, or you can rest your hands at the sides. Perhaps take a moment here to rest the forehead, your ajna, your third eye, down onto the ground. And maybe taking a few breaths here and just noticing the qualities of that connection of the third eye down towards the earth. Take a moment to notice the properties. Maybe it feels soft, maybe it feels a little harder. Maybe you notice a different temperature change. Allow your breath to come in and allow your hips to soften as you draw your sits bones down a little closer to the heels. And then on your next inhale, we'll draw up onto the tips of our fingers, creating that tent if that feels good. And then walk our hands without moving through our hips over towards the left, drawing that right hip down just a bit. Maybe breathing into this space. Try to soften the shoulder. Just opening up the ribs, opening up the intercostals, giving that QL a nice little stretch here. Giving all of our muscles along the spine, so our multifidus, the erector spinae muscles. Just a little stretch here as well. Just notice how the breath enters the body and expands the ribs, and how the ribs come in as you exhale. On your next inhale, we'll walk our hands through center, and then exhale over to the opposite side, still keeping that left hip down, taking that left arm out, softening through the left hip, softening through the shoulder, feeling that expansiveness in the ribs. And just explore any sensations you're feeling with a sense of curiosity and non-judgment. Simply even using words of, oh, I feel so tight today, or, oh gosh, I can't get into this pose, or all self-judgments, statements. And let's simply just notice it rather than judge it. And then slowly make your way back in through center. And we're just going to shift our weight forward, bring your knees in a little closer so they're stacked on top of the underneath the hips, and just shift our weight forward and back. Maybe breathing in with that count of 4 and exhale on that count of 4. And just loosening up through the hips, through the shoulders. And as you're ready, we'll come back up, bringing ourselves to our all fours. And then we're going to just go into some hip circles here. So beginning with our right hip towards our right heel, inhale down, shift over to the left, and exhale up. And as you move here, maybe you kind of create this figure 8 sensation, this figure 8 movement. As you move one side towards the other, you're working in this oppositional side on the upper body. Maybe just exploring different sensations through the shoulders, just allowing everything to just kind of flow here from one to the other. Moving into that femur joint. Wonderful. Let's do a couple more on this side, and then we'll switch directions. Wonderful. And let's move, when you're ready, into this opposite direction. Just allowing ourselves to balance out. Seeking balance is such an interesting concept. We hear about the work-life balance, and we think about balancing our body physically and mentally. And it really takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of awareness. And it takes time to bring that awareness to the forefront of our daily actions, our daily movements, even our thoughts, just finding that balance. Equaling one side and the other. And when you're ready, we'll slowly make our way back through center. And let's press back one last time onto our heels. Just maybe reach your wrists up and give them a little stretch, a little bit of love. We've been on them for a little bit today. So let's just move through the wrist joint, maybe give it a little stretch, maybe bring in the hands so they're coming in towards center, just whatever feels natural for you here. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, we're going to go ahead and we're going to shift our weight forward in preparation for our downward facing dog. Now, if you're not up to going into downward dog today, you can just make your way up to the top of your mat and make yourself come into forward fold. So whatever feels right for you. So bringing your hands a little forward of the shoulders, curling the toes slightly under, putting pressure into the balls of the feet as we press up our sits bones towards the sky. I always like to keep my feet a little wider than hip distance apart to invite a little bit of opening through the low back. As you draw the shoulder blades down, you energize down through the heels. And maybe go ahead and give your feet a little pedal here, one and then the other. Still breathing with this nice equal breath, 4 in and 4 out. Soften through the shoulders and through the neck. And then as you're ready, we'll slowly make our way back through center. And however you want to get to the top of your mat, you can hop, you can walk your feet forward. Let's bring ourselves to the top of our mat. Feet are maybe hip distance apart, knees are slightly bent. And just allow yourself to just gently hang here. I've got a nice bend of the knee. Allow the head to feel heavy as if you're emptying out any thoughts, releasing the shoulders. And then perhaps go ahead and lengthen your right leg. Just lengthen it as you're resting this forward fold. If you have a yoga block, you can rest your hands on your yoga block. And then bend into the right leg and extend the left. Just noticing this gentle lengthening of the back of the body. Allow the shoulders and the head to remain soft here. And just finding this balance between the two. Finding this equal breathing of a count of 4 in and 4 out. Let's finish up with one more on either side. And then we'll slowly bring ourselves back through center whenever you're ready. And perhaps we're giving ourselves a little hug here. Right hand to left elbow, left hand to right. Feet are wide. And maybe allow yourself to gently rock side to side. Seeing if you can release the upper body, release the back. Maybe feel like you can extend the legs, perhaps just a little, maybe not. That's okay. Just allowing the body to release here. Maybe seeing if you feel any sensations here. Just acknowledging them. And then as you're ready, bring yourself back in through center. Let the hands hang down. Bend in through the knees. And slowly begin to press your feet equally into the floor as we slowly make our way up to standing, extending the arms out towards the side as we bring the arms up towards the sky. Press the palms together. Exhale to your heart. Take a moment here to remind yourself of your intention today. Take a moment here to notice the feet connecting down to the earth and the roots settling themselves deep to the earth, offering you support and strength and energy. As you're ready, sweep your hands up on the inhale. Interlace the fingers, point the pointed finger, and keep the thumb together. And exhale over towards the left, just gently leaning, drawing down the right hip. Inhale, coming back in through center, and exhale over to the other side. Inhale back through center, exhale over. Inhale through center one last time and exhale over. Inhale back through center, release both hands, palms open, resting at your side. Inhale, press the palms up towards the sky. Exhale, turn the palms and exhale down. Inhale, open the palms. Exhale, palms down and bring the hands down to the side. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower. On your next inhale, palms up, reach up towards the sky. Sweep the arms out to the side as we exhale, coming down to a forward fold. Inhale, coming into your half arch, energizing through the back of the body. Exhale, release down. Inhale, half arch. Exhale, release down towards the floor, bend into the knees, sweep the arms up, press the ground away from you as you extend the arms up, and then exhale, sit in our chair. Lengthening through the body. Maybe arms are resting right at shoulder height. Maybe they're extended. We'll just decide what feels good for us. Maybe they're resting at heart center. Inhale, release the hands, extend them out to a strong circle all the way up as we extend our body long. Interlace the fingers one more time with the pointed finger up towards the sky, thumbs reach back, and inhale over to one side, back through center, and over to the other. Gently finding our way here. Inhale back through center. Exhale over. Inhale back through center. And exhale over. Back through center. Inhale, release the hands. Exhale, release down towards the ground, coming into your forward fold. Inhale, finding your half arch, lengthening through the spine, leading with the heart. Exhale, release down. Try to let the low back go here. Inhale one last time, lengthening through the spine. Exhale, release down towards the ground. Inhale, bend in through the knees. Sweep the arms in this large circle, like you're creating a bubble around you. And then exhale, come into your chair, shifting your weight back, lengthening through the spine. And then as you're ready, energizing through the feet and bring your hands down towards your thighs. You're still in this chair position. And I'd like you to take your hands and just rest them on the outer edges of the thighs. You're just kind of holding them here. Your back is nice and long. And I want you to press your feet into the floor, engage it through the core. And I want you to imagine you have this oppositional sensation. So you put a little pressure into the legs as your feet are pretending to split your mat apart. And just energize. So kind of work this opposition. You're actually not moving your feet. You're just energizing through the feet and then release. One more time, put the hands just on the thighs, put a little bit of pressure there, and imagine that your legs are trying to split the mat apart, but your hands are holding your legs there. Energize through there, and then release. And then sweep the arms up towards the sky, lengthen the body, interlace the fingers one last time, exhale over to the side. Inhale back in through center. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale through center, last one. Exhale over. Inhale back through center and exhale over. Inhale through center. Release the hands down so that the palms are facing forward. And next, we're going to take our right leg back. And you can come into a high lunge here so that your foot is slightly angled at a 45-degree angle. If it feels better to have both feet facing forward, go ahead and adjust that back foot. Both hip bones are angling towards the front like two headlights on a car. Palms are open. We're going to inhale, reach the arms. Palms down, exhale down. Inhale, reach. Exhale down, slow it down. Remember, we're inviting this idea of letting go. And let's make our way one more time. Inhale up. Exhale down. And then perhaps curling that back toe so that both feet are parallel. Right front leg is going to extend long. And this time, palms are going to inhale up. We're going to hinge from our hips, kicking our hips back slightly and come into a half forward fold. So lengthening down, dropping through that shoulder, lengthening through the front leg, not locking into the knee. And then sweep the arms down, bend in through the front knee, and come all the way back up through center. Exhale, slowly extend the front leg, lean forward, hinge from the hips. Finding that forward fold. Bend into the knees, sweep the arms back, and come all the way back up. Last one, lean and hinge from the hips. Extend the front leg. Find that half forward fold. And then bend into the knee, sweep the arms up, and rest your hands at heart center. Pressing into that left foot, bringing the right foot forward, finding yourself at the top of the mat. Release the hands to the side, palms facing forward, taking the left foot back. Maybe finding a high lunge here. Both of our hip bones are facing forward, anchoring down into the mat. Letting our body kind of just melt in here for a moment. And then inhale, breathe in. Exhale, palms down. Breathe in. Maybe you can even notice the work as your arms lift, and then the releasing of the shoulders as you come down. And then last one. Bringing yourself, when you're ready, back in through center. Perhaps taking that back leg, adjusting it so that both feet are parallel. We're going to inhale, sweep the arms up, extend that front leg, hinge from the hips, engage to the core. Just lengthen the spine. And then inhale, sweep the arms down, bend in through that front leg, extend the arms up. Inhale, extend the front leg, leaning forward, finding that half forward fold, kicking out from the hips. Bend into the front knee, sweep the arms back. And last one, inhale, extend, finding that forward fold. Bend to the front knee and sweep the arms all the way around. Meet with your hands at heart center. And then slowly bring that left foot all the way forward, finding the top of your mat. And then as you're ready, we're going to go into a little balancing work here. So release your hands. We're going to come into a little quadricep opener as well as a hip opener. So if you need any support with a wall, feel free to go ahead and bring yourself closer to a wall so you have your hands resting there. And we're going to go ahead and balance our weight into our left foot to begin with. Just go ahead and lift your right heel up. And then if you want to, we're going to go ahead and release our right arm down and grab hold of that right foot, energizing through the front quadricep, drawing the heel in towards the glute, and just allowing the quad to open up, even opening up through the hips. Noticing where our alignment is here with our pelvic region. So trying to see if our back is wanting to arch to kind of make this happen, or if we can keep it nice and neutral here. And then as you're ready, go ahead and release your right foot down to the floor. And then go ahead and shake that off. And we can go and weight into the right foot next. And then lift that left foot, just giving the sole of the foot a nice little stretch here. And then when you're ready, you can go ahead and reach for that left foot. And if reaching for that left foot doesn't feel good, or it doesn't feel like you've got the space for it today, just go ahead and alternate stretching out the sole of the foot. Or you can use a strap to hook onto the top of the foot, or just use a wall as a form of support. And then go ahead and release that left foot down, and then just shake that off. Wonderful. Next, we're going to take our feet nice and wide. And I like to use sometimes a block here for a forward fold. So if you do have a block handy, I encourage you to have it nearby in case you want it. Feet are going to be parallel and facing forward. And we're going to sit up nice and tall here with the body. Now from here, we're going to come into a forward fold, and some of us may only come halfway. That's absolutely fine. Some of us may want to go a little further. That's absolutely fine. Again, we're looking at this idea of letting go, but just honoring where we're going today without forcing ourselves beyond our edge. So from here, I want you to just draw awareness into the core, energize through the feet here without locking into the knees, and then just allow your body to hinge from the hips. And maybe you're resting your hands on a block. This really feels very comfortable right now on my back. And just this space of really, I'll show you from the side here, just allows my back to remain really long. I got a little bend of my knee. My knees feel really nice and soft. You can even open up a little wider through the feet if that feels better. And just take a moment here to breathe. Keep the back nice and long. And maybe this is where we stay for today. if you want to go down a little further, you can even adjust the block and maybe bend in through the elbows. Maybe you want to rest your hands down towards the floor. Perhaps we walk our hands over a little bit to the left. Breathing into the right side. And perhaps we walk our hands back through center over to the right. Breathing into the left. Perhaps we come back through center and we can prepare to go into a twist. However, if a twist does not feel okay today, just continue to flow from one side to the other, or simply stay in a forward fold and just allow your back to get a nice little stretch. So if you have a block, maybe center it so that's right below your shoulders. I'm going to go ahead and put my left hand in here, and then I'm going to inhale and open up towards the right. I'm coming right so that my arms are nicely aligned. I still have really good energy through my feet. And I'm offering this sense of opposition here. So we're not twisting the whole spine. Maybe see if you can keep the belly button kind of working opposition. So the belly button's moving towards the left as our upper body is moving towards the right. And then come right back through center. Rest your right hand down on the block. And then inhale over to the left. And just that sense of opposition can really offer you a tremendous amount of support in the pelvic region and the low back. And then come right back through center. Wonderful. Go ahead and bend deeply into the knees, pressing both hands onto the upper thighs, and then toe heel your feet so that they come right back through center. Wonderful. And let's go ahead and make our way to the top of our mat. As you're ready, let's go ahead and press our feet into the floor. Maybe even take a look down, make sure that toes are nicely aligned, heels are nicely aligned. And then inhale, sweep the arms up towards the sky. Exhale, soften through the knees, come down to a forward fold. Take your right foot back. Take your left foot back and meet in downward dog. On your next inhale, shift your weight forward, find your plank, and then exhale, drop to your knees and come down into your child's pose. On your next inhale, we're going to go ahead and shift our weight forward onto all fours and then bring our legs all the way forward. Now here, I would encourage you to go ahead and sit propped up on a blanket, especially if you have tight hip flexors. It's always nice to kind of raise your sits bones off the floor. It does feel better and it does give us a little more room. So finding our way with our legs extended out long, sitting up perhaps on a blanket. This also really allows your spine to get that length, and it gives it a little more space and a little more room. So with the legs energized forward, heels extending out, legs are zipped up towards each other. Inhale, extend the arms, maintain a long back, and then just lean forward, maybe allowing the spine to round, allowing your hands to rest wherever they land. And then on your next inhale, we'll inhale and lengthen through the spine. Same forward fold, a little more energy through the spine. Just see how that feels. And then as you take your next exhale, release down. Let your head soften. And then slowly begin to walk your hands back in through center. Still propped up on your pillow or on your blanket, we're going to go ahead and slide our feet in towards center, coming into Baddha Konasana, into our butterfly pose. And perhaps just taking a moment here to lift up through the spine, soften through the shoulders, let the hips hang out to the side. Breathing into the belly and softening through the upper body. Perhaps this is just the right amount for today. If you're seeking a little more, you can always begin to walk your hands forward. And I really like to do this with this prowling sensation, just really nice and slow. Some days feel a little more spacious than others. And slowly, if your hands are extended, walk your hands back in through center. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and bring ourselves down to the floor. So if you're propped up on a pillow, maybe you'll set it off to the side. And we're going to make our way down onto our back and draw our knees in towards our chest. Let's just take a moment here to notice the body connecting down to the earth. Maybe noticing the fluidity of the breath. And perhaps rock your body side to side if that feels okay. And just take a moment here to explore maybe different movements, maybe something else that's calling to you today. Maybe a little bit of rotation, maybe even movement through the legs. Just kind of allow yourself to flow here with this curiosity of just allowing your body to kind of move in the direction it's calling. And whenever you're ready, let's go ahead and come back in through center. And we'll draw the left knee in towards center and extend the right leg long. If we're taking care of our back today, your right leg can remain bent. Just taking a few breaths here, releasing through the hip, giving the back of the leg a nice little stretch here. Softening through the shoulders and the jaw, maybe even clearing your throat. And then as you're ready, bend in through that right knee and extend the left leg long. Maybe the knee is bent, knowing that if you're taking care of your low back. And then go ahead and release the right leg long. And extend both legs out. If you want to rest a bolster underneath your knees, especially if you're taking care of your back today, you can prop your knees up a little higher as we prepare to go into Shavasana. You can always keep your knees bent with your knees knocked together, which is a wonderful way to release the hip flexors. So go ahead and choose what feels good for you. As you make your way into your Shavasana today, Let us simply be in the moment. If your mind starts to drift off and starts to think of other things, bring your attention back to the earth connecting to your body, maybe noticing the different areas of the body, maybe the heels, the calves, the glutes, the shoulders, the back of the head. And quiet the mind. As you're ready, let us begin to slowly reawaken the body by deepening the breath, creating some small movements of the toes and of the fingers. Maybe simply noticing the shoulders, the back of the heels. And as you're ready, we can go ahead and roll on to our favorite side, and we'll take a few breaths there. whenever you're ready, we can go ahead and slowly make our way to a seated position. Just take your time. And as you're ready, let us bring our hands to heart center. May your heart always stay warm, and may your smile always stay broad. And may the light that shines in me honor the light that shines in you. Namaste. Thank you, everyone, so much for coming today. Bye, Janice. I am going to turn off the class and I'll be able to say goodbye to you in person. Have a